Hey, what's up? My name's Alea and welcome back to a brand new reading vlog. So here's the deal. Basically, this is the vlog that I was working on during my hiatus that I took during February, March, and the beginning of April. And originally I had not planned on taking a break from YouTube and Instagram and all of that stuff, but things were getting really crazy with my job, and I got some news from my doctor, and I wasn't feeling like myself. I was just really not feeling like being on camera, and things were just generally not very fun and fresh. So what I decided to do is just vlog the highlights of what was going on so you guys would know what was up, and then put it into this big long vlog. So this is going to be a thick ass vlog. I don't really know how long it's going to be yet, but I know it's going to be the longest one I've ever made, so that's kind of cool. But this is broken into 3 parts, so there's a part for each month, and you guys can just see what was going on. But I'm doing much better now, and by the time you see this, I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm just kind of vibing. But I wanted to get this vlog up for you guys so you could see it before we get too far into May. But basically I read 2 romance books and 2 middle grade books, and I had a really great time with my reading. I just had a lot of other shit going on in my life. But I wanted to be really transparent with you guys about, things that have been going on and what's going on with me, where I've been and all of that. But yes, so that's what's up. And also thank you guys so much for watching my videos. You guys have been so supportive and awesome the last few months, and I just really love you guys. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So without further ado, let's roll the footage. Woo!
Tired, I ain't want your conversation. Lazy kind of burnout, need to fuel up at the station. Yeah, how you gonna pay for food? How you gonna pass the class? If this is all that you do, boy, you just sit it on your. I ain't afraid. This is my faith. If no one will stay, I'm finna stay. Don't you talk bad on my name? I like Nance, I like the sky.
Hey, what's up? I have a reading update for you. So today when I was at work, I started the audiobook for Under One Roof by Hazelwood on my lunch break, and oh my god, this book is so good, and I'm so excited because I bought the audiobook on Libro FM because I saw it just came out. It's a new romance novella, and I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Like everybody said, The Love Hypothesis by the same author was like super good, and I haven't read that, so I was like, all right, we'll give this little novella a shot and see if I like her writing. And oh my god, I'm screaming, crying, throwing up, freaking the hell out over how good this book is, and I'm only 14% of the way through, and I'm already like, is this gonna be my first 5-star of the year? Like, this is so good. It's sparking joy. All right, that's really what we're here for, and it's just so good. So we're following this main character, and her name is Mara, and she is an environmental scientist, and she just graduated from grad school, so she just got her PhD, and she's basically like broke. And apparently she was like really close with her PhD advisor from university, and her advisor was this woman who was like a sweet old lady, and she passes away at the beginning of the book, and when she died, she left this house in her will to our main character Mara. But Mara is just finding out that she only owns half of the house, and the other half is owned by this guy Liam, who is her friend who passed away, her nephew. And so the nephew is this guy Liam, who is like a big shot lawyer, and he's living at the house that Mara just inherited. But she needs a place to live because she just got out of grad school and she's broke. So she goes to the house and meets him, and things like kind of go from there. And oh my god, it's so good. I love both of the main characters. I like them because they're both like really intelligent people, and there's really good chemistry like right off the bat, and I like the setting of like this cute little like house. Oh my god, it's so good. And just like being in Mara's head is really fun. because she's really like smart and snarky and just witty and entertaining, and I'm just having a great time. So anyways, if you are looking for a fun romance to read, maybe look into this audiobook because damn, it's so good. Honestly, I was listening to it while eating my sandwich today, and I was like, this book is really good. And then it kept going and it got better, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. Oh shit. Okay. So I'm really excited. Anyways, so I'm gonna keep reading that tonight, I think, because I just want to know what's gonna happen. But the audiobook is really short. It's like 2.5 hours, I think. So it shouldn't take me long to get through it, but I'm very excited. And then also, this is the first in a new novella series, so it looks like Ali Hazelwood is putting out like 3 of them, like back to back to back. So this one just came out in February, and then there's a second one coming out the first week of March, and then I think there's another one coming out in April. So if I like this one, I'll probably buy the one that's coming out in March when that's available, because they're just fun to listen to. And then also right at the beginning of this first novella, we also meet Mara's 2 friends. So I guess she has like 2 girlfriends from grad school that she knows, and they're all living like in different places now and kind of doing their own thing with their first big jobs. And so the other 2 novellas follow both of her friends, Hannah and Sadie, and I already really like them too. They're really funny, and their like little group dynamic is really cool. So I am already like intrigued to continue, and I'm not even that far in. And you know that it must have been a freaking kick-ass beginning to a book, because I never update vlogs when I get home from work, like still in my work clothes. Yo, we've discovered a gem. We've discovered a gem, and I'm so excited. Anyways, I'm gonna go listen to more of this audiobook, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello. It's been a few days since I updated you. I am not sick anymore. Yay! But honestly, I had a really, really stressful day at work today. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you know that I just finished the audiobook for Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, and I really, really, really liked it. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 stars, just because the ending felt like a little bit rushed, but I think I'm going to give it a 5 on Goodreads. So I really liked the characters, and the romance was really fun, and I thought they had really good chemistry, and it was honestly just like a fun and fresh time, and it really brought me joy this week. So what a great novella, and it's really funny too. So I would definitely recommend this if you are looking for a new romance to read. The audiobook I think is actually like 3.5 hours, so it's pretty short, and I just bought it through Libra FM, and I would recommend that because it was very good. So that was awesome. Honestly, that's been like the highlight of the week so far. And while I was listening to that, I was coloring this little snowman. I'm not sure how well you can see him, but yes, my snowman has been very fun. I'm trying to do some coloring to relax after work, because I kind of just need to like decompress, and coloring is very fun, even though I feel like a 5-year-old. But yeah, so that was a good time. But yeah, work was really stressful today because I know I told you guys I started a new job, and it's been like a couple weeks now that I've been working at this new place. And then today, my new boss, who I really like, was just let go. And so she's not going to be my boss anymore. And I was really sad. And she was sad. And now it's going to be weird because now I have like kind of another person who's filling in as like a temporary boss before they can hire somebody new, which is going to take months. And it's like a whole thing. And it was really stressful and emotionally draining. So I've just kind of been hanging out in my giant moose hoodie and trying to kind of decompress from that, because I feel like that's going to make the next few weeks really stressful too. So That's great. That's great. And then also, just in case anybody cares, um, I am also looking into going to the doctor soon because I've been having like really bad cystic acne, and I think I want to try and go to a new naturopathic doctor that I found, to see if maybe she can help me figure out why my hormones are raging and I'm having bad acne and cramps for no reason. That's great. That's awesome. So that's where we're at. We're thinking about doctor's appointments. We're trying to chill. We're finishing books. And I will probably see you tomorrow because I need to go to bed. So, good night. What's up? So I know I told you guys before that I was gonna go to the doctor because I've been having issues with my acne and cramps and stuff. And I did. I went to the doctor a couple days ago, and they did a blood test, and turns out I'm allergic to potatoes, and I didn't know. So I've been living my life for the last 22 years eating a lot of potatoes, and they think that I am breaking out really bad because my body can't break down potato starch, and so it's just making me really inflamed. So I had to go through my pantry yesterday and throw away anything that had potato or tapioca or dextrose because I'm allergic to all of those. And so I basically had to get rid of half of the stuff in my pantry and my fridge because it was just full of stuff I'm allergic to and I didn't know. And I even had to throw my vitamins out because the vitamins I was eating every morning, they have tapioca in them, and I'm allergic to them, and I didn't know. So I'm on my way to Safeway right now because I need to go and get a bunch of groceries and, snacks and stuff that I can actually eat that don't have a bunch of shit I'm allergic to in them. So we're on our way to do that, and I thought I would take you with me. And welcome to my car, by the way. I know I never film in here, but I thought I'd try it today. So I know this vlog has been kind of nuts because between my boss getting fired and the craziness of my new job, plus finding out I have a food allergy I didn't know about, things have been kind of popping. So we're just going to roll with it. So sorry if everything is chaotic, but welcome to my world. Oh my god. So anyways, we're going to go to Safeway and see if we can find some good snacks. So let's go. Hello. So I'm back from the store, and I wanted to film when I went to Safeway, but honestly, it was an exhausting trip because I had to look at the labels of every single food item I bought to see if it had stuff I was allergic to in it, and I quickly got exhausted and frustrated. So I got a lot of food that I can eat, which is awesome, but I didn't get any footage. So sorry about that. But I did want to show you what I've been doing since I got home. So I'm working on this painting for my boyfriend for our 2-year anniversary, and it's a work in progress. But I did some mountains and a sunrise and stuff, and then these are some little characters. So the one in the middle is me as a little plant. It's basically the same as my YouTube logo, and then this is a little caricature of my boyfriend, and then this is a little character that he draws because he's an artist. So anyways, I'm working on the little painting, and it's not done yet, but it's coming along nicely. So I'm covered in paint, and so is my whole desk, and so that's going on. And then I also wanted to give you a reading update. So I did some reading when I got home from the store, and I finished this book that I've been reading, and it's called The Mortification of Fovea Munson, and this is a middle grade that I got from the library the other day because it was just really cute, and it's kind of cool because it has these little end papers that have eyeballs on them, and there's a little skull and stuff. So it's about this girl named Fovea, and she's a 7th grader, and it's about her and her parents, and her parents are basically surgeons, but they own a cadaver lab, and so they perform surgeries and stuff on dead people, and they have students who they're teaching and stuff in the cadaver lab, and it's about Fovea kind of coming into her own and trying to make friends and stuff because everybody at school thinks she's weird because her parents work with dead bodies, so they kind of make fun of her for that and stuff. So it's about her finding friends who are actually nice to her and just kind of getting more comfortable with the cadaver lab, and she ends up working there for the summer and stuff. And then there's also some paranormal things that happen with some of the cadavers that are in the lab, and things kind of go from there. But I gave this a 3.5 stars. I really love the writing style. It's really fun and snarky and witty and just really easy to get through, but I felt the beginning of this book kind of had a little mystery element going on, and then by the end the mystery kind of just fizzled out into nothing, and the end was kind of chaotic and not everything made sense. At one point, towards the end, a character gets hit by a car, and then a couple pages later they're just up walking around and they're fine, and I was did they need to get hit by a car? Like, that did absolutely nothing for the plot. It was just like there randomly at the end for drama. I don't know, kind of weird. But I felt like the characters were really good, but the plot like started out really good. Like the first half of this was a 5-star, and then the second half just turned into like Fovea running around kind of just coming into her own and making friends and stuff, which was fine, but I was more into like the mystery stuff at the beginning. So I don't know. It wasn't bad. The writing was definitely good. If you're into like dead people stuff, which I am, which is part of why I picked it up. So, you know, if you like Castle and Bones and those kinds of shows and you like middle grade, then you might want to check this out because it does have like fun cadaver lab vibes, which was fun. I hadn't seen that in a middle grade before. And I haven't really heard anybody talk about this. I just randomly saw it at the library and it looked really cute. So I picked it up. And I did enjoy reading it, but it's definitely not like higher than a 3.5 for me just because of the way that the plot turned out. But anyway, so there's that. And then now that I'm finished with that, I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to read. So I'm kind of debating between a few things. So I have Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which is a sapphic romance that just came out a few months ago, and I've been really wanting to get to this, and I pre-ordered this, so I really do want to read it soon. And also I really want to read a queer book because I don't think I've read any queer books this year, and I just feel like I'm tired of reading about like straight characters all the time. Like I've been reading a lot of romance lately, and it's all been like straight white people, which like is fine, but I just really need something else to spice it up. So I'm really wanting to read this because I've heard really good things about it lately. Like there's been lots of good reviews coming out, so I'm excited about this. And then another queer book I really want to get to is The Witch King, and I really want to read this too, but this is like a YA fantasy, and I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for YA right now or not, but this is also on the list of queer books I want to read soon. And then I have another one that I just got from the library, Lore Olympus, and I really want to read this because, well, I guess this takes a little more explanation. So I know I mentioned like I'm not super thrilled about my new job that I have, and I've been working there for like, you know, quite a few weeks now, and since my boss got fired, it's just been kind of like chaotic, and I'm not really doing the things that I thought I was going to do when I got hired, because my temporary boss kind of has different, you know, tasks that he wants me to do versus what my old boss had planned on me doing. So I'm kind of like on the lookout for other jobs to apply for and stuff. So I applied for a job last week at Webtoon, because they had some different job openings, and so I applied for one of those. But once I applied for Webtoon, I was like, okay, I want to look more into their website and the different, you know, webtoons that they're publishing and stuff. And so I've gone down like a webtoon rabbit hole because there's sometimes at work where I'm really busy and sometimes where I'm really bored. So when I get bored, sometimes I read webtoons at work. So I've been reading this one, it's called Down to Earth. I'll put in a picture if I can find one. But I think there's like 90 episodes of it on Webtoon, and I'm on number 34. And it's only been like a few days that I've been reading it, but it's about this guy, Cade, and he lives by himself with his cat, Cosmo, and he's kind of just like getting over a bad breakup and kind of just trying to work and lay low. But he has been trying to get like back into the dating game, but every relationship that he's starting only lasts like a week because he's such a mess over his last breakup that nobody wants to be with him because he's kind of just like, I don't know, like cold-hearted and distant and stuff. So he's kind of just doing his own thing, and then one day this little spaceship crash lands in the forest outside his house, and there's an alien girl on the ship, and things kind of go from there, and he's trying to like help her and stuff, and she's trying to understand Earth and, you know, the food that Earthlings eat and how to fit in and what clothes to wear, and he's trying to like take care of her and teach her stuff, and it's just really cute. So it's kind of a romance, and The two of them are very cute. So their names are Cade and Zeta. And it's just really cute seeing them interacting, and then the cat, and then Cade has a job, and so his whole job situation is interesting, and then Zeta trying to figure out Earth people and how to dress and so on and so forth. But it's very funny and cute and entertaining. So I've been reading that on top of normal books because apparently now I read webtoons. I don't know how we got here. I'm just telling you what's happening. And so that brings me back to Lore Olympus. So I'm interested in reading this because, you know, originally this was published on Webtoon, and then it just recently, sorry about the car noise. So this was originally published on Webtoon, and then it got picked up in traditional publishing and bound into like a hardcover copy. So I wanted to read this just to be able to read some more Webtoons, because obviously I could read this on Webtoon, but I kind of wanted to see like the physical copy just because I think it's really cool. And since I applied to Webtoon, I'm kind of like getting into it just because I want to know what's up. Even if I don't get the job, it's something that I've heard about before, but I've never really like read them myself. So anyways, that's just something I'm interested in now. Plus I've been into romance, so since this is a romance and the other webtoon I've been reading is a romance, I'm interested to see how they kind of compare, I guess. But anyways, so those are things I'm thinking about picking up now that I finished that middle grade book. So that's kind of my maybe read soon stack, I suppose. And then another thing I've been reading that I haven't told you about is the audiobook for Again the Magic by Lisa Kleypas. So now listen. I am not a historical romance kind of a gal, but this is the book club pick for our book club for March. It's called the Shelf This Book Club, and it's hosted by Bailey from Is Bailey Reading. And so she picked this book, and I was thinking, okay, I've never read a historical romance before, so I'm gonna give it a shot, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. But let me tell you what, this book is so good, and I'm having such a good time. I have like 2 or 3 hours left on the audiobook, I think. And so I'm excited to finish that. And it's interesting because this book actually has 2 different couples in it, and we get both of their romances. So it's like a romance book, but it has 2 fully fledged out romances going on. So the main couple is Aileen and McKenna. And they're interesting because at the beginning of the book, we get to see them as teenagers, and the whole thing is like Aileen, the girl Aileen, her dad is, I think he's like an earl, and so he's kind of this powerful guy, and he's really an asshole. But she's kind of, you know, upper class, has money and stuff, and McKenna is the stable boy, and so at the beginning, she's 18 and he's 17, and they kind of have like a forbidden romance going on. And then things kind of go from there, and there's some like spicy moments at the beginning that are really good. And then we flash forward to like 12 years later, I think. And so then they're, you know, quite a bit older, and they are seeing each other again for the first time after like 12 years. And it's kind of a like second chance romance thing because McKenna's upset because Aileen like broke his heart or whatever when they were teenagers. And it's kind of about them coming back together. Oh my god, I love their romance though because there's so much like sexual tension, and the steamy scenes are really well done. And it's just really fun, and Aileen like doesn't take shit from McKenna, even though he's like kind of pushy and like kind of a turd, but it's really entertaining. It's really good, and she kind of has like secrets she's keeping from him, and it's like a whole thing, but it's really fun. And I really like the timeline when like 12 years later when he comes back, because he like basically, you know, he's like 30 now, and so he's like really come into his own, and he's like doing really well, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, maybe this could be a thing, even though we used to have this big class divide going on and it was so forbidden. So that's interesting. And then the other romance is between Aileen's little sister Livia, and this guy Gideon, who's McKenna's friend. And they have this romance going on, and it's really cute. It's very different from Aileen and McKenna's romance. Like, Gideon and Livia, they both have like kind of like tragic stuff in their past, and so their relationship is more like them just finding like peace and joy in each other, and them kind of like hanging out and getting to know each other, and then, you know, things get kind of spicy, which is exciting. And they both kind of have like scandalous things in their past, and they kind of have like reputations, and so other people don't necessarily think a lot of them, but they kind of like, you know, can relate to each other in that way, I guess, and they don't really judge each other for like their past stuff. So that's really cool, and I just think it's really fun. It's a really good book. I definitely recommend it, and honestly, I think this book is turning me into a romance girly. I'm a romance reader now. I've read more romance books this year than any other genre. Who am I? I don't even know. But anyways, if you have any recommendations for good historical romances, leave them down below, because I would love to know. Because now that I read this one and I'm really enjoying it, I want to read some more, but I don't really know like which ones are good. Like, I know I like Lisa Kleypas' writing and I want to read more from her, but besides that, I don't really know what else is good. One thing I'll say about this is that sometimes the writing is a little bit like, I don't know, like corny. Like, let's just say they use the word loins more than once. That's all you really need to know. So, you know, but when you're listening to the audiobook, it's just kind of funny. And so, you know, I don't know. I really like romance audiobooks because they're spicy and funny and really entertaining. So that's just me personally, but that's kind of something I'm getting into. Eventually, I'd really like to be able to do a romance audiobooks recommendations video. And I kind of have a list going, but I'm not like quite there yet, but that will be coming at some point, because that's a thing I didn't even know I liked. But anyways, I am gonna go, and I will talk to you later. please explain to me why we're in a snowstorm in April? What is this? Bro, ugh. This sucks. Look at that. It's so foggy too. Hell no. Hell no. You guys, I had to show you this. I'm sorry. It's April 10th and we are in a full-on, like, winter blizzard right now. I have my red sweater on and my green socks because I think we're getting second Christmas. Look at this. This is nuts. Oh my god. Welcome to global warming, I guess. This is madness. This is madness. Look how big these flakes are. Oh lord. Send help. I'm freezing. Hi. You're in my medicine cabinet. So here's the deal. I know I was telling you about the job situation and how my current job is kind of nuts with my boss getting fired and everything else. So it turns out I have a job interview today at a bookstore and I'm really excited and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm optimistic that this might go really, really well. And so I'm gonna meet the owner today and chat with her a little bit and see if maybe she wants to hire me for a job there. Thing is, it's part-time, so I'd have to get a second part-time job. But I think it would be a lot more fun than the job I have now. And I'd actually get to do stuff with books, and who knows, maybe she'd let me help with her Instagram account that they have for the store and stuff, which would be awesome. So anyways, I have that later this afternoon, and I'm really excited. Okay, bye. Hello, I am now back home from work, and during my lunch break today, I had my interview for the bookstore job. And it went super, super well. I got to talk to the owner and she was really nice. And we got to chat about books and everything. And I kind of hope I get that job because she was really cool. And they have an Instagram account for the bookstore. And she said that I could help with that if I got the job. So I'm very excited. But I kind of had to do my interview on the down low because I didn't want my current supervisor to know because I'm a little worried that he might freak out when he finds out that I could be leaving, because I think he would be nervous about not having help. But that is a problem for another day. So the interview went good and things are going well on the whole. And I also got some book mail. So my copy of Portrait of a Thief just came in the mail the other day and I wanted to show you because it's really stunning. And this is the book club pick for May for the Shelfless Book Club, which I'm a part of along with Bailey from Is Bailey Reading and Kayla from Kayla Ray Reads and also some other booktubers as well. So we're going to be reading this in May and I'm really excited because I've heard really good things. I know Monty did a reading vlog for this like a month ago and he said it was absolutely awesome. So I've heard nothing but good things, but this is a heist novel and I think it's about a bunch of college kids who kind of team up to steal back some art that was stolen from China a long time ago. And I think they're breaking into like some museums and trying to steal the art back and things like that. But anyways, it sounds really interesting. And this cover is really cool and I'm really excited. Also, the author is a grad student. I believe. Is she a grad student? Yes, she is. Yeah, she goes to med school at Stanford, wouldn't you know? Anyways, she sounds interesting. So I'm excited about this book. But that's pretty much all I have. Oh wait, no I don't, I lied. I have a reading update. Oh no, I hate you, I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me go and grab my book. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm actually currently reading Greenglass House by Kate Milford. And I'm really enjoying it so far. This is a middle grade like isolated mystery kind of, and it's set at this it's called an inn for smugglers, so it's kind of like a hotel, but a lot of the people who stay there are kind of like, I don't know, they kind of have a seedy past and a lot of them smuggle things, and anyway, some of them are kind of like thieves and stuff. But anyway, so we follow this young boy named Milo, and his parents own the inn, and it's Christmas break, and he's ready to be on vacation from school and stuff. And usually the inn doesn't really get, like, people aren't usually staying there during that time. But for some reason, all these guests start showing up at the inn on the same night. And Milo's like, this is weird. And then things kind of go from there. And so it's about Milo and his parents and the inn, and there's kind of a mystery going on with something that Milo found that he thinks belongs to one of the guests, but he doesn't know who it belongs to, and he thinks that maybe it's not really theirs, maybe they stole it, and maybe all these guests have come to the inn at the same time for a particular reason, and so he's trying to get to the bottom of it. So that's kind of what this is about, and I'm really enjoying it. The writing is really, really good. It's just really well written, to be honest. And Milo is a really interesting character. He definitely has a little bit of like anxiety and, I don't know, maybe a little bit of OCD. It doesn't like strictly say that on the page, but there's definitely some like signs of that with the way that he thinks and acts, and he like acknowledges it too. So that's really interesting. And Milo's also adopted. So he is Chinese and his adopted parents are both white. And so he also kind of like struggles with that, like feeling like he really loves his parents, but he's curious about his birth parents, and he sometimes feels like, you know, like people judge him for not being the same race as his adopted parents and that kind of thing. He feels like maybe he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb sometimes, and it kind of makes him uncomfortable. So that's also really interesting to hear about as well. So anyways, this is really good, and I was excited when I found this at the library because I know Alexandra Rosalind talks about this a lot on her channel, and she always says that this is a really, really good middle grade. So I have been enjoying this, although the writing is really good. It also takes like more than 2 brain cells to read this, so I've only gotten like 70 pages in because I've been really tired after work, and like this writing is too beautiful and well done for me to comprehend it when I'm in my exhausted state. But that's kind of what I have to show you at the moment. So I think I'm gonna go call my mom and tell her about my interview, and then I will talk to you later. Goodbye. Hello, my sweet petunias. So I wanted to let you know what's going on with my job situation. So I had a follow-up interview at the bookstore the other day, and it went really well, and the lady gave me 2 free books. So apparently they get ARCs there, and so they have some ARCs that some of the booksellers can just like have for free. So she gave me 2 ARCs for free, and so I got Notes on Execution, which I'm really excited about because I've really been wanting to read this, and the hardcover copy that just came out is really expensive, so I'm super excited about this ARC copy, and I think this is a like a thriller about a serial killer, I think. On the back it says it's a gripping and atmospheric work of literary suspense that deconstructs the story of a serial killer on death row, told primarily through the eyes of the women in his life, from the best-selling author of Girl in Snow. So that sounds really interesting. And then I also got an ARC of the new Tiffany D. Jackson, The Weight of Blood. And this cover is really, really cool, and I'm really excited. So I don't know very much about this, but I've been wanting to check out Tiffany D. Jackson's stuff because everybody always says that her writing is super good. And so when I saw this ARC and the lady said that I could just take it for free, I was like, oh, I have to get this. So I'm really, really stoked, and I'm really hoping that I can get to this soon. And this one comes out in September, and all I know is that it's like a YA horror, and it sounds like it's set at a Georgia high school, and it's about a girl who's at prom, and I think it has to do with like racism and stuff like that. So anyways, I'm really excited about this. So I got both of these from the lady who I interviewed with, and then they emailed me back later the same day, this was like on Friday and now it's Monday, and they offered me the job. And so I accepted the job, and so I'm gonna have a new job as a bookseller at my local indie bookstore, and I'm really, really excited. And it's actually the bookstore that I took you guys to earlier in the same vlog. So now I'm gonna be working there and I'm super, super excited. And then today, at work, I put in my 2 weeks notice and told everybody that I'm leaving. And I'm a little bit sad that I'm going to be leaving some of my coworkers that I really like, but on the whole, I'm really, really stoked for this new job, and I'm excited for new things. So that's what's going on there. And then, I know I also forgot to show you guys what I got from the bookstore earlier. So when I was there shopping, in my little shopping extravaganza, I picked up this YA like thriller, and it's called It Will End Like This, and it has a really, really cool cover. And I picked it up because apparently it's based on the story of Lizzie Borden, and that is really interesting to me because I wrote an essay on that in college a few semesters ago, and I just thought it was really interesting. So all I know is that this is about two sisters, and I think their dad is maybe abusive or something. I don't know, but there is a creepy, like, bloody hatchet on the back, so I don't really want to know too much going into this, but it looked really cool, and I'd never heard anything about it. So if you've read this and you think it's good, then let me know, because I'm trying to go in blind, but I'm also curious to know if anybody else has heard of this. And then I also picked up Bitter by Quick and Busy because I just had to. So this is the prequel to Pet, and it just came out, and I'm really excited. And I really want to get a copy of Pet and then reread that and then read this one. But anyway, so this is about the girl from Pet. I don't remember what her name is, but this is about her mom, Bitter, and Bitter is an artist. And so I think this is going to be about like art and maybe some social commentary and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be really cool. It's also pretty short, but anyways, very excited about this. And then the last one that I got is The Love Hypothesis by Alea Hazelwood. And so you guys know that I really loved her romance novella that I read recently, and so I thought, you know what the heck, I'll pick up The Love Hypothesis just to see if I like it. So anyways, I'm excited about this. I've heard, you know, all of the TikTok girlies talk about it recently, so we'll see how I feel. But I really do like the idea of these like rom-coms where the two people are like grad students or are like, you know, in academia and that sort of thing, because I just think it's kind of interesting. So anyways, I'm excited about this, so we shall see. But those are the 3 books that I grabbed from the bookstore while I was shopping. So that's very exciting. So that's all I have for you, and I will talk to you again soon. Adios.
I still need to recover from another lover. Would you be here for me? Never met your parents, not even your mother, but let's see where this leads. What should we do tonight? What if this breaks your little heart in mine?
Alright, reading update time. So I just finished Greenglass House by Kate Milford, and I enjoyed it, but I think I'm going to give it a 4 and not a 5 because there's a few things that just weren't really my favorite. So, like I said before, we follow this boy, Milo, and his parents own this inn called Greenglass House, and it's an inn where a lot of smugglers stay. And then one year at Christmas, he is like hanging out with his parents, and all of a sudden all these people show up to stay at the inn for Christmas, and that's pretty unusual. And so yeah, things kind of go from there, and things kind of start going wrong. So some of the guests complain that like they've been stolen from and they're missing items, and somebody like tampers with the generator and lights go out and things like that are kind of going on. And Milo and his friend Betty are trying to figure out what's going on, and all of the guests seem to have come to Greenglass House for a reason, like they're all kind of looking for something. So they're trying to figure out, you know, are the guests all looking for the same thing? And does this have to do with the old smuggler guy who used to own the house before Milo's parents, and all of that? So I liked this because it's set at this cozy inn in the winter. So this is like the perfect book if, you're at home with a big Afghan blanket and there's a storm outside and you just want something cozy to read. This is really good for that. And I also think that it's really well written, and I like the characters, and I liked the mystery elements, and there's a couple little twists at the end that actually got me, especially one. There was one big one where I was like, damn, didn't see that coming. But I feel like there's a lot going on in this book, and there's a lot of like little stories within the main story, because one of the big parts of this book is Milo asks the guests to all tell a story in the evenings, and so he's trying to use their stories to figure out why they're at the inn and stuff. And the little stories that they tell are really interesting, and they do kind of tie into the plot and the mystery, but I felt like there were so many little stories and little details and clues and stuff that at the end just didn't really seem to have anything to do with the mystery. And like I actually took notes because there were so many details, and I was trying to like keep everything straight, so I have like all these sticky notes. And I was thinking to myself as I was reading this, like, it doesn't feel like a middle grade book because there's so many little clues and things to keep track of that it almost seems like a lot for a middle grade reader to kind of keep straight if it's all going to be really important at the end. But we got all these clues, and then at the end, there was only like a couple that seemed really irrelevant. So it was kind of like, okay, you gave me all this information, and I read all this stuff, but then the reveal at the end was kind of like a minor thing. And it was like, okay, so there's a lot of buildup, and then it was kind of just left hanging. Like, there's a lot of emphasis in here on this symbol of the gate. And that symbol shows up around the house in a bunch of different places and stuff. And then at the end, like, it never comes up, really. It's like, okay, why is this gate symbol all over the place? Like, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, it was emphasized, and then I guess it doesn't really matter, because then it doesn't come up, it doesn't have anything to do with the mystery at the end, really. So, I don't know, that was kind of frustrating because I felt like there was all this build-up, and then there was a good reveal at the end, and then at the very end I was like, okay, it's gonna hit the fan. And then it didn't really hit the fan. It kind of went around the fan, and then it was gone. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. But I don't know. And there were some other elements at the end that I did like, though. Like, it ended in a really sweet and tender way, and there are a lot of really sweet elements to this book, about like family and parent and child relationships, and how family is really the main thing that matters, and all of that kind of stuff. And it was really touching, and I liked that. But at the same time, like, I wanted the mystery to hit at the end, and it just didn't. It didn't hit. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I do think it's a good story, and it is really well written overall, I would say. So anyways, that's that on that. 4 stars from me. And then I also finished Again the Magic by Lisa Kleypas, and this book was so good, and I'm going to give it 5 stars because I loved it. So I know I talked about this book earlier, but I really like this book because it's a historical romance, which I'd never read before, and honestly, I didn't think I was going to like this book. Like, I was looking at the title going, Again the Magic? That sounds cheesy, and I don't think I'm going to like this. But Bailey from Is Bailey Reading picked it for our book club book, and so I read it because I wanted to do the book club, and then I really, really loved it, and I listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook was the way to go, to be honest, because since it's a historical, there is some language that's used that's kind of like, you know, if you were reading it with your eyes, it might just be awkward. Like, the word loins is used. But in the audiobook, it was just really funny, and it was just a good, fun, fresh time. And this book was so spicy. Like, I was like, damn, girls, we used to open a window. Like, this book had me feeling some kind of way. Like, I was like, it's spicy, and the end was really tense. I was sitting there, like, sweating, and I was laughing because there was some really good banter in here, too, and we follow these 2 different couples. So the main couple is McKenna and Aileen, and then there's another romance with Aileen's younger sister Olivia and then this guy Gideon. And I really liked both romances. I think Gideon and Olivia I liked a little bit better because their relationship was just really tender and fun. And I liked them a lot. And there's steamy scenes with both couples, and it's just done really well. It's really, really fun. It's fun, it's fresh, it's steamy, it's spicy, and this book just gave. And I freaking loved it. And then with McKenna and Aileen, there's this like second chance romance going on with them. And it's kind of like a friends to lovers to enemies and then back to lovers. And they have a lot of sexual tension. Like, you could cut the sexual tension with a knife. And it's so good. And the end had me going. Like, I was thinking at the end, like, oh shit, are they actually going to get together? Or are they not? Like, it was tense. Whew. It was really good, though. I really loved it. So now I want to read the rest of the series, and I kind of want to read more historical romances and some more books by Lisa Kleypas because I just loved that book so much. It was so fun. And the audiobook was like 12 hours long, but it went by like that. Like, it was just great. It was so fun. And I listened to most of it at work when I was cleaning out the filing cabinet, and I was just sitting in the corner, like, giggling to myself because there's so many good parts with McKenna and Aileen that, like, talking to each other. And McKenna is like dark and broody and kind of cranky, and it's just really cute. It's so freaking good. So anyways, if you're looking for a good historical romance, then there you go. And if you have any historical romance recs for me, leave them in the comments because I need them, because I don't know what I'm doing with historical romance or really romance in general, but I'm honestly feeling it. And I think this vlog has really shown me that I need to read more romance because I really like it. It's really fun. And I mean, reading's supposed to be fun, right? That's like the whole point. So I think I just need to get into the genre a little bit more, but historicals, I really didn't think that would be my thing, but evidently it is. So there we go. But anyways, that's all I really have for now with my reading updates. So I will chat with you in a bit. All right, I'm back to wrap up this vlog. So, in conclusion, I'm allergic to potatoes. I quit my job at the university. I got a new job at my local independent bookstore, and I read 4 books. That's pretty much what we got. So, to recap the reading, I read Under One Roof by Alea Hazelwood and absolutely loved it and gave it 4.5 stars. And then I read The Mortification of Fovea Munson, which was middle grade that was really fun, but the plot didn't really do it for me, so I gave that one 3 stars. And then I read Again the Magic by Lisa Kleypas and gave it 5 stars and absolutely loved the shit out of that. And then I read Greenglass House by Kate Milford, which was another middle grade, and I gave that one 4 stars. So all in all, not a half bad vlog, if I do say so myself. My reading has definitely been kind of coming back. The beginning of this year was just like not a good reading time for me. I mean, not a good time in general, as you saw, but the reading was just, I don't know, I didn't have a lot of time to read. I didn't really feel motivated to read, but now I'm really getting back into the reading groove and I've been reading a lot of really good stuff. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got to the end, please leave me a blue heart emoji in the comments for Again the Magic. And I'm really excited because I have a lot of really fun videos planned that I'm going to be working on in the next few months and into the summer. So we've got lots of good things coming, and that's all I really have for you today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!